Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here, we're live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully, you can all see and hear me clearly, and hopefully, a lot better than last night's stream, which was buffering like crazy, had me streaming out here in 144p. But I think I got all that stuff straightened out and situated so we don't have to worry about a low level stream like what we had last night, right? So, if you can all hear and see me clearly, please drop a one in the live chat and then we can get today's stream started. And as I'm waiting for the ones to come in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button. That is the most important thing that you can do for me on this channel. That ensures that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also assists in making sure that this video permeates throughout the YouTube algorithm, therefore pushing it out to those that are interested in this type of content. Next, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, if you haven't already, please share this video out on your social media platforms. That has the same effect within the YouTube algorithm, and it also lets everyone know as well that I'm currently live. Katsy, good afternoon, and good afternoon to everybody that made it to today's stream. So let's get into it. Oh, also as well, follow me on Telegram. You see that right there at TD Media Group. The link is pinned in the live chat above, wherever that is, right? It's in the description box below, and it will be pinned in the comment section once the stream is over. So let's get into this very quickly. I don't believe that we're going to be here too long at all. So what I want to do right now, as you can see, the title of today's stream and today's video is Biden expedites native funding amid growing black-white racial wealth gap. Let's get into this article very quickly, right? And you see it right here in front of you right now. Biden signs executive order on federal funding for Native Americans. I'm going to read this whole thing. It's relatively short, and then we'll get into the actual commentary and what I have to say about this. Right. So let me blow this up for you so you all can see it, and let's get into this article. And as I always say, and it reads as such: President Joe Biden on Wednesday will sign a new executive order on federal funding to Native American tribes, making it more accessible and building on previous investments. The new order creates the Tribal Access to Capital Clearinghouse, what the White House called a one-stop shop for federal funding, which makes it easier to find, understand, and apply for said funding. The White House will also have as a goal to strengthen tribal consultation and deepen the federal government's respect for tribal sovereignty. The Wednesday statement provided no clear funding numbers, but says the new order builds on the historic investment President Biden has made in Indian country. And we're going to get into those exact numbers in just a moment. That includes the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the Buy Indian Act. The executive order affirms that tribal self-governance is about the fundamental right of people to determine their own destiny and to propose and to prosper, I should say, and flourish on their own terms. The White House statements read, it also affirms that tribal governments must be treated as permanent, equal, and vital parts of America's overlapping system of government. Now, what I want to do is pivot over to the actual data to see how much historic funding Biden has delivered to tribal nations, right, to the Native American community. So as you can see here, this is from whitehouse.gov, right? I'm not going to read that long title that they have there, but you see this is official. It's from whitehouse.gov. Now let's get into the actual data. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit as well so you can read along with me. And here's the actual numbers. This is the historic investment that Biden has delivered to tribal nations. Excuse me. Historic investments in tribal nations include $32 billion in the American Rescue Plan, the largest direct federal investment to tribal nations in history. 13 billion in bipartisan infrastructure law, in the bipartisan infrastructure law, and 700 million in the Inflation Reduction Act. So what that shows me and what that shows you is that in just about every major bill that Biden signs into law, what comes with that is a massive amount of money, literally billions of dollars for tribal nations, the Native American community. And that's cool. That's fine, right? Okay. But here's my question to quote, Rob, who I can never say do a live stream without saying his name one time, right? Here's my question. How much of that money has gone to the Black community? Of that 32, 13, and 7 million, what is that? 32 plus 13, what's that? 45? That's $45 billion with an additional 700 million on top of that. So what is that? We'll just say 45.7 billion. I believe that's the correct math, right? 45.7 billion since Biden's been in office. How much of that has gone to the Black community? Now, for some people, you're hearing me say that and you're thinking to yourself, you sound utterly ridiculous. Why would you say something that nonsensical? Because when the roles are reversed, and when it comes to Black Americans are literally not allowed to get anything unless it's going to go towards everybody else as well. Whatever Black Americans will or won't get, whatever they may or may not get, is always contingent upon will everybody else get some of the pie as well. What I want to do very quickly now is I want to play this video that I've played for you multiple times before in the past. And this is a video of Joe Biden being asked a very direct question concerning his support for reparations for the descendants of American slavery. And this isn't the one that I normally play, where he goes on a minute and 30-second long tangent about how he's going to give your reparations to the Hispanic community and to illegal immigrants crossing the border. No, in this particular clip, when he's asked that question, he says that your reparations is contingent upon whether or not we're going to split that up with the Native Americans, despite the fact that none of what they received was split up with you. So there's 176 of you in the stream right now. Please hit that like button while I pull up this video. Check this out.
You want to see studies.
Let me rewind that back just a little bit.
I know you've said before that you want to see studies, that you weren't necessarily ready to say you were for reparations, but you'd be willing to at least look at studies. There are a lot of people who suggested that these studies have been going on for a mighty long time, and why not say now whether you would be for reparations or not?
I know it has to be done now, and you know it too. Let's not wait. Let's do the study and decide whether there should be direct cash payment. But in the meantime, you know it has to be done.
We can find that on Biden.com, but I'm not sure what your answer is to the reparations question.
If in fact there are ways in which to get direct payments for reparations, I want to see it. But why are we waiting around for the study? We can deal with it.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You don't have to wait around for the study. That's my point.
No, but they look, they're not mutually exclusive. But I can't believe that whatever it is, the African American community would not support what I'm talking about. In addition to,
I don't think we have to. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this so we can move on, because we've got to get some phone calls in as well. But let me ask you this then. If in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was, and will it include Native Americans as well?
They went through all that merry-go-round and all that talking, and I give the brothers credit for pressing Joe Biden on that until he actually got a direct answer. But they did all that just for Joe Biden to tell you, well, it depends upon, if you're going to split up the pie with, Native Americans, and how we're going to go about doing that. That's literally what he just told you. I'm going to play that last part one more time.
A calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was, and will it include Native Americans as well?
So now I don't sound so crazy when I pull this up and we go through the actual data concerning the historic investment that's gone to Native Americans by Joe Biden since he's been in office. And I asked a question concerning that $45.7 billion. How much of that actually went to the Black community? Because shouldn't it have been busted up as well? I think so, right? And here's the other thing that's funny and that's interesting. I could go on literally forever playing videos like what I just did. And I was debating whether or not I would or I wouldn't or should or I shouldn't. Should I just drag this out? Just get to the point and move on, because I borderline didn't even want to talk about this. And I'll probably tell you why that is in a minute. Maybe, maybe not. But the more I thought about it, I said to myself, no, you know what? No, I'm going to take a moment to play a quick series of videos showing you that this is the pattern of Biden and Harris, and not just Biden and Harris, but Obama and the Democrats as a whole. So let's watch this. It's not going to take too long. Let's see how Biden responded. And you've seen it before, when he was asked about reparations during the debate stage when he was running for president in 2020.
You support reparations? Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in them.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. Senator Klobuchar, you had your hand up.
So you heard his answer there. Bill 78, stop messing up my live streams, man. You stop messing up my live streams, with statements like this. Bernie Sanders wanted to throw them hands when he was asked. I wish I had the Bernie Sanders videos queued up. I've played those a billion times. Bernie wanted to throw hands behind that. That's the number one question Bernie Sanders hated being asked the most in 2020. He couldn't stand being asked a question about reparations. He was ready to throw hands anytime that question came up. You're ruining my stream, Bill. You're ruining my stream. But I only got two more clips that I want to play for you all. Because like I said, this is not just a Biden-Harris thing, right? This is an Obama thing. It's a Democrat thing as a whole. Let's get into, what, Obama had to say a couple years back when he was asked, why don't you do something that's specific for Black Americans? You're the first Black president. You supposedly understand the struggle, right? Why don't you do something that's, specifically for them, like how we do in other things? And here's what Obama had to say.
The African-American community. Why not target the African-American community? Why not say then, this is for you. This is for African-Americans. If there was a banking crisis, then you'd target money for the banks. If there was a national disaster, you target your money for the national, for disaster relief.
That's not how America works.
That's not how America works when it comes to Black Americans, but that's how it works for everybody else. Let me just let Obama finish out his statement.
That's not how America works. America works when all of us are pulling together and everybody is focused on making sure that every single person has opportunity.
Right. And now let's end out these series of videos with the classic video. This is classic of Kamala Harris, right? When she was asked about doing something directly for Black people, like, you're the first Black woman that's running for president or something like that, right? She's not afraid. She's an Indian woman that was raised by her Indian family and her Indian culture, right? But anyways, Black woman is what they like to say. That's not what she is though. But let's hear what she had to say.
Also, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
She didn't even believe what she was saying at the end of that.
That community and society. Family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Right? She literally didn't even believe what she was saying at the end of that statement. And I know there will be some die hard vote blue no matter who's, because it doesn't matter how many clips like this you play. I could literally keep going on and on and on and on with these type of clips. They're going to sit up here and they're going to say, oh, Joe Biden did this for the black community. And what he did was something for people of color, minorities, and marginalized groups. Now, many of you remember this meme, I guess you can say, that I've showed multiple times, right? How many times have I pulled this meme up in a video, in videos in the past, right? You've seen this meme before. I have set aside this cake specifically for you minorities, right? I haven't showed this in a long time, but you all remember this. Now, what's interesting about that meme is that we don't even need a meme anymore concerning that. We don't even need a meme to show you, for me to show you what is actually meant when Democrats are saying they're going to do something for minorities, people of color, and marginalized groups. No, what we have now is a real life example of what that actually is and what that actually means. And look at this right here. I'll pull it up on the screen for you. Well, I was going to pull it up on a screen for you. and here it goes, right? Let me remove myself so that it comes up a little bit bigger. Let me remove myself. So here's the real life version of that meme that I would always show you guys. Kamala Harris goes on and states, too many minority-owned small businesses have been left out of getting federal contract. President Joe Biden and I have committed to increasing federal contracting by 50% for minorities and underserved businesses. We are on track to do that. Can somebody tell me, please show me? Let me blow this up. Is there anybody black in this photo? You know, people of color, minorities, marginalized groups. Where's the black man or woman at? Where's the black man or, you know, the black business at? Where in this? She's talking about minorities and marginalized groups, people of color, and all that good stuff. And this is what, you know, you're supposed to be benefiting from. But these people, they literally always tell you the truth behind who they are and what they're about. You're looking at it right now in real time. She posted this December 2nd. Outside of the fact that she posted this December 2nd, you know, this is, I've sat up here and I played multiple videos for people concerning this kind of stuff. Yet and still, what I'm showing you will still very easily be dismissed by vote blue no matter who's. And my question is, at what point do we hold the Democratic Party accountable? How do you continue to reward this type of behavior? I should say this type of abuse. How do you keep rewarding this type of blatant abuse and pretend like you don't see it and pretend like you don't know what's happening? How do you do that? That is completely and utterly insane to me. It's insane to me. And like I said earlier, I didn't want to talk about this because if you've been following this channel for, you know, at least since the beginning of Biden's presidency, I used to make videos like this all the time. Biden, and he did a lot of stuff for all these other groups early on in his presidency, in the first year of his presidency. Biden signed this for such and such, nothing for black folks. He gave billions of dollars here, nothing for black folks. He gave millions of dollars to this group, nothing for black folks. How many of you all remember the videos that I made concerning Eric Adams in his first year as mayor of New York City, as well as Kathy Hochul in her first year as governor of New York State? They gave tens of millions of dollars specifically and exclusively to the AAPI community. They gave millions of dollars specifically and exclusively to the LGBT community. And then what did Eric Adams give black New Yorkers? New Yorkers, is that a word? He gave you a hip hop museum in Harlem. That's what you got. Yet, some way, somehow, what I'm pushing here is fake news. I got actually very tired of making this particular type of video of look at what they got, but we didn't get this. I actually got very sick of making these videos because it just kind of felt silly at a certain point. But luckily, after my conversation with you know who, I'm not going to say his name because I say it all the time, he reminded me, bro, just put it out for the record. It's not about, how you feel about it. It's a matter of keeping a record of this stuff so that people can't say that they didn't have the information. People can't say that they didn't know. With respect to our brothers and sisters in Chicago, I've been following, obviously, that situation concerning the migrant crisis and in support of you all, obviously, closely. But the reality is, for as long as I've been on YouTube talking about what I've been talking about, right? For as long as most of you all have known me since about late 2019, early 2020, you can't say you didn't know what was going to happen happened. Because me and many others told you, but you chose to look the other way. And now it's biting you in the butt. So my question is, how long will you continue to look the other way and pretend like what I'm showing you isn't true and isn't what's actually happening? That's my question. And that's what I'll end it on, because there really isn't much more to say outside of that. What else is there left to say? How long will you keep being made a fool of? That's the question. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me today. Very short episode, very short stream, but at the same time, very necessary as a point of just keeping record of this type of abuse by the Democratic Party towards Black Americans who vote for them religiously to the tune of 85 to 90% just to never get anything returned for your vote other than a slap in the face. Shout out to Harlem 2099 for being the first person to contribute to today's stream and the only person thus far, which is cool. I appreciate all the support. Harlem 2099 stated, but everyone else and their mama gets reparations, but the people that deserve it. There you go. I'm in 100% agreement with you. Now, as this stream comes to an end, hang tight. Obviously, hit the like button, as I always tell you to do. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. The thumbs up, hit it. But what's going to happen next is that you're going to be rerouted to my second channel with our good brother Rob from Blacklight Revelations 2, called Just Talking with TD and Rob. And that is a lot more, that is a more lighthearted channel where we just talk about things that's happening, culturally in the United States, in the world, and things of that nature. A lot of fun, a lot of joking, a lot of clowning around. And I'll just hit you all with today's thumbnail for today's episode of Just Talking with TD and Rob. Here's the thumbnail for today's episode that's going to get started at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What is that? Like within the next 20 minutes, looks like, right? Here is that right here. No words at all. So that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into that within the next 20 minutes on Just Talking with TD and Rob. So hang tight, hit that like button on your way out. Please hit the like button, hang tight. And this stream is actually going to reroute you directly to that stream on Just Talking. So you're going to be directed redirected straight to that stream if you hold your horses and don't leave once I click end stream. So with all that being said, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all in 19 minutes on Just Talking with TD and Rob. Peace.